Hi there and welcome to the Hobbytime at Healys channel. Thank you for coming and watching the video. Today I will be talking about my experience as I went as of early this week to look at the Pokemon Center pop-up in London. I have got a few bags of swag to go through, and I'm going to talk about my experience generally of the day, and then I'll show you guys what I managed to get. So obviously the Pokemon Center opening in London, really big deal here, because obviously we haven't had one. Super excited, saw all the London exclusives, everything to do with, this guy right here, and was really excited to try and get hold of as much as I could of the pop-up stuff, just because I really liked it. I thought it was just very different, and fingers crossed I could have got some. When we went down on the day, it wasn't necessarily a sort of a bad day, so I'll kind of talk about my experiences as I go through, but I want to obviously make it clear this is only my opinion of how I thought the day went, and obviously the time I spent there and what I overall thought of the shop, and the store and everything in there. So mainly obviously timing. So this is probably the key. You've probably seen it all over sort of Twitter, sort of Facebook, everyone doing reviews, queuing. So we went sort of about a week and a bit after it opened, thinking maybe by that time hopefully it died down a little. It didn't, is what I'll say there. So we arrived at sort of Westfield shopping centre at about sort of like in 10:10 in the morning. The store opened at 10. We got there a little later than planned, unfortunately, but it's one of those. We thought we'd make the best situation. When we first actually found the store, so it's on the upper floor, so anyone who is going, I will say to you, it's on the upper floor, so obviously we spent a little bit of time looking around on the ground floor and then realised, oh wait, there it is. We went up the escalator literally right by the Pokemon Center London, and we saw the queue and we thought, actually this queue isn't too bad, we might get in maybe an hour or so. At that point, we kind of realised the extent of the queue. So it went sort of past it, and then you've got obviously in the shopping centres where you've got the walkways, you've kind of sort of big open bit to look down to the next floor, and they were kind of zigzagging all around there, leaving the gaps, so people could still go to and from the shops. When we actually got to the end of the queue, we asked her whether or not we tried to join it. So somebody there told us it was a 7 to 8 hour wait. Now, by this point, you're talking, 20 past 10. Stores are only open until 6. We kind of ummed and ahed, but we thought, you know what, we'll give it a go and hopefully we'll try and get what we can. Now, we then had to go queue outside. Now, there wasn't much of a queue outside. We were quite lucky. They were bringing everybody in groups. What I will say is, for anyone who's queuing, and prepared to go, is there were people there from 4 a.m, 6 a.m, who were like the first few in, who managed to get it. If you are massively after some of the stuff specifically, like the London sort of Pikachu and basically any of the stuff, pin badges, things like that, I would say it is worth queuing. And to get that stuff and then kind of enjoy your day, because Westfield Shopping Centre is really nice, and there's a lot you can do around there. Sounds we weren't unfortunately that lucky, but I will turn around and say that the guys doing the queuing and the security team there were really spot on it. They were making sure that everyone was kind of sort of, taking up spaces. You had no people sat there. There was times where we were in the queue and they wanted everyone kind of like 2 by 2. So people could sort of, they could count everybody in and make sure they're getting the right people into the next section of the queue. There's probably about 6 sections of queue by the time we were there. And no, it was probably more than that actually. By the time we started including the outside one, you're probably looking, I would probably say maybe 10, 11 sections of queue, each probably holding around about 50 people, give or take. But they were really good and they were really friendly, talking about all the things like, so basically how long they expected to wait was. When we spoke to the person outside, actually they were a little bit more favourable with the times. They sort of said you're looking probably 5 to 6 hours, which gave us a little bit of hope over the 7 to 8 hour ETA we'd already been given. It is a long day. That's one thing I would say to anybody. So kind of take food, take water, that being the key one. The security people are really good at sort of letting you go to the bathroom, letting you go and kind of get food and come back, as long as you don't take the mick and you take ages. What I would say with that one though is there were 1 or 2 people who had told the security guard that they were going for food or going to the loo. there'd then been a change of who was guarding that queue for whatever reason. That other person then obviously wouldn't let them back in. They kind of had to wait around for 20 minutes or so until the other person came back off their break. It was resolved at that point. So what I would say is take a friend. So I went with my partner, and luckily we were able to kind of, one of us stay in the queue, one of us go to the bathroom, things like that. So queuing is kind of the key thing that you're going to get from this. Beyond that, I would say it was a really good day. Everybody in the queue is, if you are a Pokemon fan, you are going to get on with the people around you in the queue. That's kind of a given. Mainly because you're going to be chatting about stuff. There were people there on their Switches, people there with their DSs, 3DSs. There's even one guy with a Game Boy, which just really made me laugh. And everyone's sort of chatting Pokemon, playing games. The people behind us were literally having like a mini Smash Bros tournament because there was Wi-Fi available. It is one of those, it's kind of like a good day because you're surrounded by people who are all in the same boat, all doing the same stuff. So it's really good. I mean, like, there was plenty of people who went with groups of friends. They only were allowing at the time people in groups of 10 at a time into the store, kind of in waves. So they were kind of doing not just 10 in the store and that's it. They were kind of letting in, from what I could kind of gather, maybe about 20, 30 people, but in like small increments. So everybody then had the opportunity to get into, sort of have a look around the store, buy stuff, and then go upstairs to go to the demos. So that's kind of it. Obviously, there's 2 floors. But I'll get onto that a little bit more in a bit. So that's kind of it. So positives are, the queue is well organised. It wasn't cold. If anything, it was hot because everyone was like inside the shopping centre, and obviously you're all crowded in. It's one of those. There were a few people who were struggling with that. In terms of like, if you're not good in small spaces, or you're not good, in basically crowds for prolonged periods, because you are basically just stood there in a crowd. You will struggle. There were a few people who basically had to kind of bail out because they just couldn't deal with the heat. Again, though, I will give all the props and singing to the security people who were very good at letting people sort of stand to the other side of the barrier to kind of get some air and then walk back in. They do get a little bit more sort of like towards the front of the queue, but not like in a bad way. They're more a bit sort of like, you kind of need to go now. This is your opportunity to get into the store. I can't hold your position forever, which is completely fair enough. Queue cutting, literally sort of saw absolutely none of it except for right at the very end, which annoyed a lot of people in our section of the queue. So by the time we got sort of around all the zigzagging and to actually at the store where we were kind of in touching distance of it, there was somebody who had been in the queue and had multiple people, sort of like their family, kind of come and speak to them at the time throughout the day, being like, how long is it? I kind of thought it was somebody there who was a big fan, who was just kind of waiting to go into the store, and the family were like, come on now, what's going on? But no, actually they let then 5 people go in with that person at the front of the queue, meaning there was now another backlog of 5 people. I don't think was spot on in any way. I can kind of maybe understand one person and kind of them switching out throughout the day to go and have a look around the shopping centre because it is a long day. But 5, I thought, was an absolute joke. Do you think they need to be tighter on that? Again, it was only one occurrence that I saw. I don't know if that kind of happened a lot throughout the day or whatever, but hey-ho, I get it. It's one of those. It's only one occurrence, really, from my perspective, so I guess it wasn't too bad, but 5 people I thought was a bit much. And they were very much kind of like in grabbing stuff and kind of going. Kind of talking about the queuing just a little bit more, and I'll get onto the store in a minute. I'll try and put times of when I talk about things, when I reveal stuff, in the description below, maybe at the beginning of the video. I'll have a bit of mess around with the editing stuff. So I massively think the shopping centre is not doing enough to support the store. So massive queues of people. It has been throughout, and I reckon it will pretty much be right up until the end of when the store shuts. And you have got, food stores, coffee shops, and things like that, all sort of there, and everybody's hungry and needs bottles of water and things like that, and no one's coming out the shops. For me, I just think it's absolutely bonkers. So there was a coffee shop. You had there was an Itsu, which is like a brand of sort of gyozas, things like that, sort of like Asian style food, that were basically there right by this queue, and just weren't doing anything. Why they weren't sending staff out to be like, hey, do you want me to take an order? I remember, here's your ticket number, things like that. And they basically stand in the queue and then get fed or get bottles of water. They would have absolutely raked in the money, but they weren't doing it. And I really think they were missing a trick. I just think it was a bit silly. To be fair, I even actually tweeted the Itsu place to kind of make a point you really should be doing more. So far, I've not had a response, but if I do get a response, I will put it up somewhere kind of here-ish with my sort of Twitter stream and sort of say kind of what happened. But I do think it was missing a trick. There was one kind of stall you went past, and that was Mr. Pretzel. So there's a pretzel place. But that was literally, you're at the store at that point. It is, you kind of queue behind the Mr. Pretzel and the barriers, and that's your 10 people going into the shop. So I really think they're missing a trick. There should be somebody going around that. We did have fun. My partner actually was tweeting Deliveroo, and we managed to get some food delivered to us in the queue. Plenty of people around us in the queue were immediately thinking, oh, well, why didn't we do that? And it was really funny. And I should hopefully be able to put up a picture of us, me and my partner, there-ish, having our sort of Deliveroo. And we had Wagamamas, which was amazing. So thank you to Deliveroo. A big props to you guys and the delivery driver who found us. We hope we tipped you well enough. And it was great. Really, really good. But that's pretty much it about the queue. Just to kind of summarize, you're going to be there for a while. The security people are good at letting you go to the bathroom and stuff. Take a friend. I would definitely say take a friend. Don't go and do it on your own unless you are prepared to kind of not really leave the queue. Just because there were so many people having issues. I just sort of, which I can kind of understand. It's one of those. At least if you've got a friend there to back you up and go, no, they are with me, or you're kind of like a marker. That's the one. But otherwise, make friends with the people in the queue. It's up to you. Take food, take water, take all the stuff you need. Just obviously because you're going to be. We got into the queue about 10:20. We got into the store at 3:30. So you are then 5 and a bit hours. It was a long day, but actually way shorter than the original expectation. Then they set it to the 7 to 8 hours, and then the 5 to 6 hours. Keep an eye on their Twitter. So the Pokemon Center updates will update you with what's sold out as and throughout the day and when the time of the queue closes. There were a lot of people who had gone to the shopping center, done loads of shopping, seen the queue and thought, we'll join it when it dies down. No. So they will stop letting people in because they know after counting in how many people they've got into the queues based on the time slots they're doing, how basically quickly, or basically have they got enough stock and whether or not they will basically be able to fit everybody in. So they will do a cut-off. It was about 12:15. They did it for the day we went. And they were sort of like, no more people are coming in. Not at all. Because we can't physically get you in the rate we're doing it. Which is, I think it's quite good. And again, just touching on that whole following the Twitter with the updates, as you kind of progress further down the queue, again, a massive shout out to the staff and everything. It's not an easy job to have to go down the queue and tell people you've sold out of this, and this, or the other way of turning around saying, by the time you guys get there, we will be out of the London Pikachu, the TCG playmats, the pin badge, mugs, socks, things like that. They were turning around and saying this won't be there by the time you get there. And they mean it. What I will say is if you're there specifically for something like that, don't take a chance and think everyone else is bailing out the queue. We thought, hopefully a lot of people will leave the queue now, and that might leave some free stuff to us. No, everything the first guy came and told us at about 12:30, and they turned around and said, right, we're telling you now, by the time your section gets there, I'm really sorry, we won't have any of the London merchandise. They did not have any of the London merchandise when we got there. So kind of do take their sort of warning seriously. They are really, really hot on it at updating it. There's literally a guy, really lovely bloke, really funny, was going around down the queue. He had a phone and he literally had pictures of the shelves and he was saying, people, this is what we've got. We're out of these plushies. We're out of this. I'm letting you know because we don't want you to be, we know you're disappointed because you're out of stock of stuff. But we also want to be very honest with you about what we have available. And And again, I think that was really, really good of them to do. So I will give them thumbs up for that as well. So yeah, now the main bit we'll probably talk about, which is the store. So when we got in there, it's a bit smaller than I thought it was going to be. And to be honest, in terms of the stock that was available, I was very disappointed. My main goal was to go for the London Pikachu sort of like itself. That was gone. The TCG playmat, unfortunately, that had gone. The sleeves, gone. Pin badge, gone. Kind of seeing a trend here, I hope. Anything to do with the London Pikachu was gone, except for one or two things. So I was really sad. It did suck. But end of the day, they told us this at the beginning. It's one of those. We sort of persevered and got through. We did pick up a few things, and which was good, which I'll go through now. Which we're quite happy with. Hopefully I'm going to try go again and pick up one or two bits that I really, really wanted. But I will be sort of going early doors to kind of do that. I won't do a review on that video just because everything I've kind of sort of talked about I'll cover in here. If I do get things that I didn't manage to get during this video, they will pop up in my other videos in the future, so keep an eye out for them. Yeah, so it was disappointing. The shelves were bare. I managed to take a photo of sort of a few of the sort of shells and be like, there is kind of nothing here. Kind of hopefully that will be what it looks like. Yeah, it's kind of sucked. But, it was a good day overall. I will say it was good fun. The people we were around in the queue were a really good laugh. And yeah, it was a really good day. I just think they need better organisation from the shopping centre to provide people with food and water. So, but yeah. I will now get on to basically showing you what swag I got. There was a 5-item per person limit. That is, you've seen it, kind of may have seen it all over Facebook and Twitter and sort of Instagram, things like that. That's not a joke. Where that is a 5-item limit and only one of each category of item per person. And what I mean by that is certain things like plushies and things like that, they were very strict on not necessarily how many you could buy, but basically how many, not even of the same type, but basically, so let's take the hoodies. They had, when I got there, they had the 3 starter hoodies available, but there was a sign next to them saying only 1 hoodie per person, so you kind of had to make a choice. You couldn't get one of each of the starter ones. You kind of took 1 hoodie and that was it. So again, advantage of taking a friend or friends with you is if you want those, is kind of go through that. But yeah, so it's kind of one of those. I will show you now kind of what swag I got, and then I'll talk about the sort of the brief demo I managed to have of Pokemon Sword. I will grab this. So the bag is really, really cool. So it is literally, so you've got Sword and Shield on the back, but this guy on the front. I'm going to try and do my best to keep the bag the best I can. I've got actually not just my stuff, I've also got my partner's stuff that she bought to basically put into here as well. So I'm going to be able to show you 10 items that we managed to pick up. What I'll do is I will start from here. Let me just grab. So let's go with a few of the smaller items first. So one of the first things I got is, so I managed to get one of the London Pikachu kind of beanies. Now I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really a beanie wearing person. But I saw this, it has one of the few things left over with the London Pikachu on it. And I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go. And it is actually really warm. You have that Pokemon Center sort of like basically memorabilia sort of tag to basically show that you've got it from there. It does kind of, for me as somebody who's a bit of a collector of stuff, it is a bit of an odd choice of whether or not I take this tag off to wear the beanie out and about, or I kind of keep it. But to be honest, I'm probably going to take that off and give it a wear. I will. You'll now see that I'm not a hat person. And yeah, I think it's a good size. It's actually really warm. It's really good quality on that one. So I will definitely say that all of the items that were there, the t-shirts, the hoodies, everything like that, it was very high quality. It's not, they haven't kind of cheaped out on that sort of stuff, which is really, really good. Like this is really thick, it's really warm, it's almost like that kind of thermal wear, so you are going to be very, very warm in the winter with this. But yeah, so that was that. So that was my first item. Next up, we have got... So I managed to get hold of one of the t-shirts. Now, the t-shirts they had available, they were in multiple sizes. Multiple sizes, obviously, from, I think they had right the way from small or extra small all the way to double XL. I didn't see any triple XLs, but again, the shelves were quite limited by the time I got there. What I will say as well is they do different colours. So I've got the kind of navy blue, which I thought was really nice. They had black, they had like a light blue, a grey. They did have white, but that was sort of, by the time I'd even walked to the shelf, it was gone. But yeah, I won't open this now. I will hopefully be wearing this in a future video, so you guys I can show you what it's like. But again, from what I can feel sort of through the bag here, the hole they've got is that it is very good quality, and based on the fact that the beanie and the quality that had, I am under no illusions that this will be really nice, and it is as well. You know, one of the ones I'll wash inside out just to be sure, but I'll follow the instructions just to be safe. So that's what I've got there. Next up, so poster. Now they have the poster when you go in. They have the posters kind of in like a big drum. And then on the left of the shelves, it will show you what the poster looks like. A lot of people will have probably hopefully seen this sort of on there. People like taking pictures and some reviews like this. But I am super happy with the poster. I'll look at it down here. And that is, for me, an absolutely awesome poster. That will be hopefully featured in sort of some of my videos in the background as well, once I kind of get a better studio place set up rather than my kitchen. But yeah, no, really, really nice. And again, really high quality gloss paper, stored well. This has actually just reminded me of something else that was going on. If you are a Pokemon Go player, it was very, very good to be there. Mainly because they had lures all the way around. They turned near enough the entire Westfield shopping centre into like Pokemon pop-up Pokestops. And then they were running sort of all the different lures on it as well. So they put like 8-hour lures on that were just constantly there, but they were also switching them out. So they were going, hey, here's the glacial lure, the magnetic lure, and the grass one, I can't remember exactly what it's called. So it was good for me to be able to get hold of the Eevee evolutions. I will say as well, female combis, if anyone's still missing Vespa Queen, they were there. Lots of the evolved forms of the Eevee evolutions in the wild, and all of the Eevees that were there, what I saw, and I caught probably about 15, 20, were all Flower Crown Eevees as well, and relatively good sort of stats. So if you are a Pokemon Go player and you are thinking of going, and it probably is worth it from that respect as well, because you'll get quite a lot of good stuff. Or if you just live in the area, might as well go and make the most of it. But yeah, so I'll pop that down. So let's have a look here. So again, the 5 items limit kind of sucked, but I hopefully managed to get some good things. Got these here as well. So I will open these to kind of show you what they're all like. Now, I did really want the posters. So they have these wonderful kind of A4 posters of all the different regions kind of on there, which had things like, sort of, you know, Kanto, I've got a double Johto in here. Hoenn, Unova, Kalos, Alola, and Sinnoh. So I really like that. I don't know why I've got a double Johto. Woo! Extra win. So these are really nice, and again, they're really good quality stickers. I'm a little sad that there's not a Galarian one in here for the new region for Sword and Shield. That is a little bit sad, actually. I was kind of hoping to get that. Maybe there was meant to, and I've just got double Johto by accident. Who knows? Or maybe it is just the pack. It doesn't say exactly how many are on here. So, but hey ho. Then again, they only did have 6 posters, I think I saw on display. I did take a photo of them. I will try and put that sort of photo up to sort of have a look at that, see how many there were there. But yeah, no, these stickers are cool. They will be obviously making their way probably onto some of my cases for my like Warhammer stuff or things like that. Now, playmat. So I didn't manage to get hold of the London one on this trip, which is sad, but I did manage to get one of these ones here. So this is the new Sword and Shield starters playmat. A lot of the stuff they had in stock was the 3 new starters heavy. So for example, they had comes that way around. They had basically the 3 starters everywhere as plushies, lots of things like that. And it was like all the mugs, the ones that were left were only the starter ones. The keychains that were left were just the starter ones. The obviously playmat was just starter ones, and a lot of the plushies were. Not necessarily a bad thing if you like them. Like personally, I am a big Sobble fan. There he is. But unfortunately, all the plushies literally look like that. They have got this sad face, and it is heartbreaking to see them. So I was a bit like, oh, we've got a bit of a kink in this. I'll be right. I'm sure these are normally quite good. So, okay, so that's quite nice actually. What I will sort of say is, immediately looking at it, I think it's really nice, and that'll probably if I can't get hold of the other one, when I do some next unboxings, I'll try and use this as the mat underneath. I will just touch on the quality of this slightly, because it might just be the one I've got, but I don't know if you can kind of see it here, but that has started to fray a little bit already on the edges. Now I've not opened this. I've literally, everything I've got here, probably just at the beginning, is like, this is my first time looking at it apart from what was in the store. So it's my the first time opening my stuff, which I'm quite sort of, but yeah, I would say with this, it's got, you've already got kind of that kink in it up there, which might come out over time, and this already fraying is a little sad actually. But it is only a little bit on the bottom, but otherwise it's okay. But end of the day, this probably won't get actually much play use. I'll just probably use it for some videos and that. I've got so many mats now. But hey, there you go. So there is another full look at that. But yeah, quite cool. So that is my 5 items. I will have a look now. I say my 5 items. These items, anybody who goes to places like this with their partner knows that you don't really have anything that's yours. Everything is yours and your partner's. So that is the first 5 that we managed to get. Like I said, as you can see here, apart from the t-shirt and the beanie, there wasn't really much London Pikachu stuff that we managed to get. So we'll have a look. Now, this is one of the things that we did get, and my partner is really happy with, and it is the tote bag. So, bring this down to the bottom. Oh, there you go. So this is a tote bag, so as you can see from the tag there, for the with the London Pikachu and everything embezzled on it. I won't open it because it is my other half, so I don't want to open it sort of without, without her sort of knowing it's hers. I kind of feel that she's going to use this, so I will sort of bring that closer to the camera. But yeah, if you can see that, okay, that is really embossed sort of on. That's sort of sewn on like a patch. That was the design that was on the playmats that I really wanted, and the sleeves for the cards. So. Again, this thing is for sort of any sort of guys or girls who want a tote bag. This is really, really good quality. It is weighty. Like that just even shook my camera on the table. That is a weighty bag, so I feel that this will do you well as a tote bag. It just is really nice. But yeah, that's kind of one of the ones that's on the side. And now, what was the other things we got here? I think my other half only got 4 out of her 5 items, from what I can see. So, there was a lot of these things here. So, the Detective Pikachu inspired sort of Pokemon Center plushies. So, this has kind of got the fairy look that sort of the Ryan Reynolds Detective Pikachu had in the movies. As you can see, it's not kind of movable. Its arms don't move, they're sewn on. Ears obviously give the wiggle, and that's the badge there. It's quite good that has the Detective Pikachu stuff, but it still has the Pokemon Center tag. For any collectors out there, that might be something that obviously you may be looking to figure out, so I hope that does help. Yeah, it's cute. This one is like a keychain. Yeah, very cute little Pikachu, very furry, really soft, which is really nice. I do think that, again, I know this is based on sort of the Ryan Reynolds sort of Detective Pikachu movie, but I do think it doesn't look the best quality in kind of terms of the design, but I suppose it's meant to look slightly more realistic. But, hey ho, I guess But yeah, kind of cute. Pika pika. Next up was, I'm going on to the plushies a bit here now. A Vileplume. This is kind of cute, I have to admit. So, and again, this does feel like a much nicer quality than the Pikachu. Not that there's anything really wrong with this. Like, it is nice, it's a keychain, it's probably meant to be a bit more durable than kind of soft and squishy. So that might be why I'm giving it a bit of a bad rap. But yeah, it is great. I just think like the design of the mouth and that's just not great. Whereas on the Vileplume, you can see it a bit clearer, which is kind of cute. So, oh, I didn't even realise that. Aha! Pokemon Center tag as well. That's really cool. That's cool on there, and also again here on the Vileplume. Yeah, really cute, and again, very squishy. I think that will probably sit nicely sort of on the desks on the desk of my partner at work. So, and then I'm sure there's nothing else in this bag. Just this big one that I really like, and the Ludicolo. So again, this was from the Detective Pikachu movie, and this does feel like a much nicer quality than the Pikachu over there, and probably the same level as the Vileplume. So it is super squishy. It's not filled with sort of like the beans and the beads that you get like a bean bag. It is just actually stuffing sort of from teddy bears. That's kind of sort of like a hard wearing. So obviously where that might get sort of hit if you give it to a kid or something, that's kind of hard wearing. And it's, you know what, it's just cute. I'm not gonna lie, this guy is very cute. But yeah, and he's maybe a little bit of a mascot in some of my videos coming up. And that's it. That's kind of everything. So there was only 9 items. Yeah, so I thought there was a bit more, but hey ho. So that's pretty much everything there. So again, a little bit of a summary of the store. I will say that go early. That's definitely something you need to do. Get there as early as you can. See the yeah, get there as early as you can to make sure you're going to get what you want. Again, this might just be me. Don't go there for any of the Nintendo Switch stuff. There was nothing there that was exclusive for me. Maybe it had already gone by the time I got in, but it was the most well-stocked section. It had the consoles, the lights, the cases, the Joy-Cons, all at RRP, so not even a slightly discounted rate that you can get in sort of some of your local sort of stores or supermarkets. But nothing there was exclusive. I was really hoping to see like that sort of London Pikachu sort of design there on a Switch case. That would have been awesome. Probably would have sold out by the time I got there, but if they did do that, and if they do it, and I'm just not maybe aware, then apologise now, but I didn't see anything. All of the shelves were still stocked, so there was no empty ones like in other sections. Like if you go for the section with the playmats, you had sort of down the bottom right the starters playmat that I got with a display one, and then there was the display section for the London playmat, and then all the shelves were empty. They weren't like putting stuff on the empty shelves. It was just a case of it's gone. And even if you ask the staff, they're like, we just haven't got it. So yeah, so but yeah, kind of more Switch stuff would have been nice. Maybe some sort of exclusive sort of, not even Joy-Cons, but maybe a case. Just something would have been really good. They had a small selection of games. Again, I don't not really what I was going there for. And when you're only at a 5-item limit, you want to be getting the Pokemon Center stuff. Plushies, I know there is more of a selection, but the ones I've got so far, I will sort of say the Detective Pikachu Ludicolo, I think is well worth it and very cute. The Vileplume again, so they had lots in this size. So you had Charizard, a Mew, a little Mewtwo. No, there wasn't a Mew. There was Mewtwo, not Mew. And a couple of others sort of in this sort of size, which is kind of cute. And then obviously you've got the little Detective Pikachu. They did do a slightly bigger version of this, but again, if you want a large plushie, these would be the small. This is the medium, and then the large is like the Whale Lord that we saw people leaving, which was probably about like this big. You want to get there early because they tend to go. We sadly didn't manage to get a Ditto. We thought that was really cool, but we didn't manage to get one. There was none left. I will say as well, Like it's the staff are great. They were there happily, and everyone taking pictures of people, really patient, and they had been slammed all day, and they were all still smiling, all still cheery. So I will again props to the staff. You were awesome, and you were sort of still sort of like really good customer service, sort of like very friendly, which is good. But yeah, so yeah, sorry, kind of summarize very quickly again. Get there early to get what you need. The store itself is smaller than I thought it was going to be. So you kind of walk in, immediately on your left is sort of the Detective Pikachu plushies. Then there's another like little alcove, and that's where kind of the mugs, they were gone, the Chili's bottles gone, notepads, journals, all like the London playmats, keychains. And then like there was basically just a big wall of the starters in plushie form, which were all about kind of this medium size. They were there. Then you go through like an archway, and you've got Nintendo Switch stuff on your left. Again, that section was full. On your right was your wall of rucksacks, t-shirts, hoodies, and TCG stuff. So again, even the TCG section had been completely ravaged. The only stuff there was the Detective Pikachu set and a few Unified Minds boosters. At £4 a pack, a bit steep compared to anywhere else I buy them. In terms of the sort of the price, but £4 a pack. They were just single packs that were there, and some of the Detective Pikachu exclusives you can get everywhere else. I think the problem was selling everything at RRP, as people were maybe hoping for a little bit of a discount. But again, maybe that's just obviously I've got some really good sort of like stores sort of close to me who do sell things at sort of like 3 for $10, things like that. So hey ho. And then kind of there's one more little alcove past the Nintendo Switch section, which has just plushies, and that's where you'll find your little ones like this, and basically anything that's not the Detective Pikachu brand. I do know that when you go in the first section where you've got the Detective Pikachu stuff, I do believe that's where the bowler hat Pikachu is, but I am not 100% sure on that because it was gone by the time we got there. But yeah, store was good, loads of fun artwork, got some great photos. Then at that point, once we paid, you then go up to the demo. Now, really, really important, if you want to play the demo, shop first. You have to buy what you want, then you play the demo. You are not allowed back into the main store after you've played the demo upstairs. They were really, really adamant about that. And there were still people trying to argue, and it was like, no, you were told, naff off. But yeah, it's one of those. So that is a sort of kind of a thing I would say to everybody. Don't go straight upstairs to the demo, because some people did, and they were trying to convince them, like, I haven't been into the shop. And they were like, really sorry, you were told if you go and do the demo, you can't go into the shop. I think it's to try and keep the flow going so they can keep people going in and out. And there's also nobody kind of bimbling about there. So kind of makes sense. So upstairs to the demo. Awesome. Loads of really, really, really pretty artwork on the walls. They had these little like pop-up sort of like Pokemon on the sticks, and I think I'll hopefully try and put a photo here of me with the Wooloo. And there were some great ones there. They were a really nice big picture of the map, and again I'll try and put that there-ish. Give you a bit longer looking at that map. So really big picture of the map. So you get 10 minutes on the demo. Now, I kind of thought it was going to be maybe the start, or you kind of get a bit of running around the big sort of like, free roam sort of area. Really cool. What they did is you kind of go into the demo, and you can either play it on TV mode, so docked mode, or you can play it handheld on a Switch Lite. So they give you the both options, and they do give you a really nice set of headphones, so you can sort of really immerse yourself in it. And you only get 10 minutes. You have to get as far as you can, and then it auto switches off. So as soon as you pick it up and you press start, that 10-minute timer starts. There isn't a clock or anything on there. The switch will then go off. So you basically play in one of the gyms. I will not reveal too much because I don't really want to. I personally like getting a game and being really like, wow, this is awesome. But obviously, it's entirely up to you. Obviously, there might be other reviewers who will go into a bit more detail. What I will say is you basically go to one of the gyms. Really good fun. Really enjoyed it. The cinematic when you go into the gym leader battle was great, and of course the Dynamaxing, Gigamaxing, from depending where you are, it was hilarious. So you get given a party of 6 Pokemon. None of them are ones that we've not seen already, and obviously making them huge was really, really funny. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I enjoyed the demo. I'm really excited to get my copy. I am going for Pokemon Sword. I don't know which one you guys are pre-ordering. Let us know in the comments below. That's pretty much it. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this review. It was a very sort of honest review of my experiences, and again, this is just my experience. I sort of maybe I'm a little bit more patient with people in customer service, things like that, than a lot of others, just because we, been in it many years. So I do obviously look more favourably on it. If you aren't one of those people and you do get very annoyed and knocked off in situations where you've got to wait for a while, this is not the store for you to go to. Kind of send one of your friends. But I would say everyone in the queue, very, very good spirits. Always a good laugh because you're kind of all in it together. There's nowhere you can go. Don't be afraid to ask the security staff to step out if you are kind of struggling, and especially if you've got any sort of anxiety or anything like that, and you don't do well with the crowds. They do kind of keep you 2 by 2, except in the final queue where they put you 3 abreast because they kind of count you in that way. That queue was probably the hottest and most sort of like claustrophobic of them, and that was the one where people were really struggling. So I will sort of say that there. Store itself, good fun, a little smaller than I was expected, but it is only a pop-up. Staff are all great. Just get there early if you want sort of what all the stock you need. You do get given a magazine when you go and do the demo as well, which gives you a cool 10% off your next order from the eShop. I won't show you the back of this just because I've got my code on the back of it and I want to use it. But the codes are all unique, so it's definitely one of those. Grab it. Don't put a picture of it on social media and be like, "Oh, I've got this cool code," because someone will use it. I don't know if it can be used with things in conjunction with other offers. It just says simply 10% off your next Nintendo store order. So yeah, I'm gonna have a look and see obviously what that can get you. That's pretty much it. Thank you guys for the review. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the comments, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, and again, I'll try and put those times up to say when I talk about different things when I go through it. But real quick, 5 points I will say is go early, expect things to be sold out, take provisions, water, entertainment, sort of drinks, things like that with you. Take money. It sounds like a really silly thing, but there were so many people going in there expecting that they could drop maybe 20, 30 quid and kind of get their 5 items. You're not. It's all RRP. It's all kind of pricey a little bit, to be honest. Sort of the big plushies, you're looking like 48 to 64 quid, depending which one you go for, with the smaller ones all being maybe 11 pound kind of upwards for the plushies, going from the small sizes up. And even things like the sleeves for your cards, though they were out the London ones, they did have some other ones on there which weren't really for my liking, but they're like £7.50. Everything's sort of not expensive, but it's official prices. So so definitely take some money with you and be prepared to kind of sort of drop between, if you just plan on getting a couple of plushies, a playmat and a t-shirt like I did, it was about 80 quid with the 5 items I got. If you're going in there expecting to get a hoodie, the Pikachu plush, a mug, Chili's bottle, like the big things that everyone was selling out very quickly, even the socks sold out like that, you will not get much change out of 150 quid. The hoodies were like about £55 each, and the exclusive London hoodie was 65 quid. That was gone again by the time we got in there. But I will say the quality is fantastic. Like, I was feeling them, sort of tried them on. Really, really nice. I just already have a Pokemon hoodie, so I didn't really fancy one of those. But yeah, I will say really good quality. So money. And the other one would just be kind of going with an open mind. Just understand that the staff are going to be getting it way worse than you. They understand that you've been stood in the queue. But kind of, just go with that. Don't be that person who goes in there and just moans and kicks off and just gets something that they're sold out of a certain item. There were people in the store doing it, and the staff were being really, really sort of as happy as they can be with them to sort of explain. Unfortunately, we did tell you, really do heed the warnings when they come and say what they sold out of. And just generally be a decent human being and kind of understand it's busy. It's one of them. But yeah, anyway, that's just my 2 cents. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will try and be posting videos sort of every week, maybe 1 or 2 a week if I get the chance, but I'll probably be once a week coming for it. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the review. Please like and subscribe, and let me know if there's anything else you want me to review in the comments, or if you have any other questions about the Pokemon Center. So yeah, thank you very much, and goodbye.